Now, you always want to know who Charlemagne the God's donkey of the day is. You've been talking about him.
He has a
Jerrod Carmichael.
I don't think it's partly like a documentary that's on HBO.
I think it's more like Larry David.
Yeah, like that. He has a series coming out and pretty much talking about his lifestyle in the LGBTQ community, sharing with his family, doing some.
He just came out.
And he's been that way most of his life. So, and you tune in and you'll see his family's response, his dad and his jokes that he tells. Because I didn't know he was a comedian, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a comedian, and then his partner. You're saying his partner is somebody known.
I didn't say that.
The guy that's in the thing with him, the show with him.
I didn't know that.
Oh, I thought you made it sound like you knew who his partner was.
I don't know who his partner
who he
is.
likes in the show.
Oh, you talking about who he likes?
Yeah, who he likes.
Tyler, the Creator. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he shares things like that. So I think it's a 4-part series. I'm not sure. I started watching it.
It's on HBO.
Yeah.
And they show like his family. And first they didn't want to be in it because he kind of exposing them and how they are with him coming out.
Yeah.
And you said his mom didn't talk to him at first.
At first they didn't have their relationship was a little shaky.
He's real close to his mom.
Yeah. And then they got better in the talking. But then he actually challenges his mom as far as asking about her feelings about him.
Does she think he's going to hell?
I didn't see that part of it. I need to go back and watch it because Whoopi had to explain to him, you got to understand if your parents are from old school, if they're religious, whatever, they may see you differently in your life's choices that you've made. And he said it wasn't a choice.
Okay.
That's it. Another thing. He said my choice was to not be it.
Right.
So I can make my family and friends happy. But he said that wasn't really me.
Okay.
So it was interesting watching his mom's response because she's a spiritual person.
Okay.
How do they respond to that? My son is living a lifestyle that I may not be in agreement with.
And he's open with it.
And he's open with it.
So that's what's going on with Jerrod Carmichael. Mm-hmm. The other thing that he did was he went after donkey? No, this not before I get to that.
Oh, okay.
He went after Dave Chappelle.
Ooh.
And he said that he didn't like Dave Chappelle making transgender jokes. And he felt like that was low blow.
But Dave Chappelle was real clear on what he was saying in his jokes. He was talking about a specific person that he come to know.
Whatever.
Was
even
something more than what I missed on the stage?
Dave Chappelle makes fun of transgender people.
Well,
but even if he does, so what? You don't have to watch him if you don't like him.
But think about it as a transgender. I'm so sorry to say this, and even part of the LGBTQ, there are people who are not quite. They gonna crack on you.
Okay.
They crack on drag queens or whatever. So you gotta be ready to have thick skin to deal with it.
So he didn't like that Dave Chappelle cracks on transgenders and makes jokes about transgenders. And he said some very bad stuff about Dave Chappelle. And Dave Chappelle said on stage or something recently that Jerrod Carmichael owes him an apology. And Jerrod Carmichael came back and said, I'm not giving you no apology. I don't owe you anything. You pompous and you think that everybody got to bow down to you because you're the king of comedy. So I don't have to bow down to you and I'm not apologizing, which is fine. Who cares?
That's fine.
Well, now he's under attack for a joke. So now he's going to feel a little bit of what he was throwing at Dave Chappelle. And that's why...
that's why you should just keep your mouth shut on
that's
anything
why
people say.
Charlemagne is giving him Donkey of the Day.
My thing is, if the joke wasn't about him, okay?
It's I'll tell you.
Okay.
The comedian Jerrod Carmichael sees backlash over a race-based slave play joke. The director on The Court of Three and comic star of The Carmichael Show received criticism after his joke about slavery tanked. Comic Jerrod Carmichael's testing of modern comedy audiences' ability to grasp race-based humor hit the skids quickly, as a gag made on his new HBO series tanked, and many online criticized his message. 37-year-old Carmichael dipped his toes in the concept of joking about slavery. Okay? Let's see. In a moment of the show, the writer-director comedy powerhouse spoke about his relationship with his white boyfriend. He said, I sometimes joke to him that our relationship is that of a slave and a slave master. Son. who teaches me how to read by candlelight, the comedian says. In the episode, the joke lands a bit of thud in the moment, and audiences throw some shade, hissing, or they didn't like it. He groans too, because he's a good person, he says. He doesn't like that joke. I like that joke. That's my burden. I think that you know what is hilarious. It's not a funny joke.
I don't think.
In other words, I'm the slave and you the slave.
That's
master
not
son.
funny.
Because his boyfriend is white.
That's not funny though. Because here's the thing, it's not funny in a number of ways. For you to even think of that analogy with you and your interracial dating, why would you go quickly to something that's so hurtful and a situation that was totally different and compare your relationship with your white partner to a slave master and a slave? How does that make you look, you stupid knucklehead?
It says, after Sunday's premiere, the clip quickly went viral across the web and social platforms, with several users saying that they believe that Carmichael is a self-hating black person, and others just criticizing the controversial idea of a race-based sex slave play. The fact that he has a platform to spew this mess makes him a danger to the black queer community, one audience member wrote on X. Jerrod Carmichael is a self-hating narcissist, another wrote. Soon enough, Carmichael's own Instagram account went dark. He had turned it off. But yet you went after Dave Chappelle. So now you know how Dave Chappelle feels.
You are truly a donkey for saying that, though. I don't even know why he would say that. That does seem like it's self-hate.
Self-hating.
You had issues. Here's the thing.
You making him your master.
When I was looking at a little bit of his documentary and he was talking to his mom, for some reason I felt he was still battling being accepted.
Yep.
And I think he struggles with that. Not so much because of your LGBTQ and what you are, just being accepted with your mom and your family.
Yep.
So that self-hatred is coming out, even in your jokes, for you to be okay with that?
Yep.
How do you think your partner feels?
But to me, his partner don't like that joke.
No.
And to me, even more importantly than a bad joke, because as comedians, sometimes we make stupid jokes.
Yeah, you got to take it back.
You went after Dave Chappelle.
That's another thing.
You went after Dave Chappelle for making transgender jokes. It's not nice, is it, when people come after you when they don't like what you say?
But the point I was making with that, when Dave Chappelle made his transgender joke, and he was talking about really a relationship, a friendship he had developed with one particular one, he didn't say you. He didn't say nothing about you, Carmichael. But your joke is talking specifically about your partner.
Yes.
So you're wrong even with that.
And Justice says, maybe Chappelle can teach him how to write a joke.
Thank you.
That's the other thing that you have to understand as a comedian. We can say some really bad stuff.
Yes.
But if it's funny, people will go, ooh, I shouldn't laugh at that. But that is funny.
Ooh, that is funny, though.
It was not only was it tasteless, it wasn't funny.
It wasn't funny.
It's not a funny joke. If you're going to go out there, Dave Chappelle is funny.
Dave Chappelle can probably tell that same joke and make you laugh.
Dave Chappelle could tell a slave. Dave Chappelle on the Chappelle Show did slavery.
Yes. When he was...
he did Kunta Kinte getting whipped and hanging on the thing. And what's your name? What's your name? And then they said, take 5. And he got down like he was a regular black guy.
What's the character he played where he thought he was a black man, thought he was white? Cleotis. Blind. Thought he was a white man.
Oh, black Negro.
I would never marry one.
I would. We visit Cleotis a year later. We noticed his wife wasn't there anymore. He had a white wife.
Yes.
Why did you divorce your wife, Cleotis? Cause she's a Negro lover. Now that's a tasteless joke.
That is.
But it's funny.
But it's funny.
So I agree with you, Justice. If you're gonna continue with this, I'm the slave and my boyfriend is the slave master.
Thank you.
Maybe ask Dave Chappelle how to make it funny.
Instead of criticizing
it's funny. You know when it's funny? If something happens to the slave master.
Oh.
That's when the joke becomes funny.
Or he did
not
something.
That he's over you, but that it somehow turns around that he's the slave. You're the one that has him chained up in bed doing stuff.
Something.
Who's the slave now? Then people might say, oh, that's funny.
Okay, that's funny. Or
behind closed doors, he's the slave. And you're the slave master.
Did he say in the joke that his partner did some things that made him think that?
No, just because he's white. He went on the premise of him being white and him being black.
Slave owner and slave.
That's not funny.
That's not funny.
Maybe Dave Chappelle, like I said, would have twisted it and said, behind closed doors, you're the slave. Yeah. And I'm the slave master.
We switch roles.
And then his friends or the people on the farm are looking through the window saying, this is what's going on.
My gosh. I don't know, Carmichael. You need some help.
Even though that's a stupid joke, but I'm just saying that spins it a little bit.
You're right. You are the donkey. And if I was your partner, I'll reevaluate that relationship.
He should have been evaluated when he went on there and said he was in love with Tyler, the Creator.
Oh.
You said that. You saw it. He was telling Tyler, the Creator,
he was liking him.
that he likes him. They're friends. They're real friends in real life.
He had trouble coming out saying, I'm liking
you.
He
said, I have deeper feelings for you.
Deeper.
And Tyler, the Creator, was like, you stupid. Leave me alone.
Yeah, like.
Because they were friends.
Yeah. He wanted to.
You would think his boyfriend would be mad at that.
Yeah. Y'all should watch the documentary. You'll learn a lot about Carmichael and his whole relationship and coming out. And he said for years he tried to live a heterosexual life, and he just that's his pretend thing.
Right.
But just
all right.
His crazy comedy. He has a different kind of comedy.
Yeah, he's funny to me. But that's not funny, that line.
Yeah, that wasn't funny.
All right. So now we always try to end with something funny.
Mm-hmm.
These two twins